Good morning, welcome to Haywire Homestead. So we got back from our trip from the Appalachian Homesteading Conference, had a great time out there, and I wanted to show you, gosh, it feels like I was gone forever from the farm, and so many things have happened. So I'm going to take you guys with me this morning so I can show you some of the new things that have been going on. Okay, so for those of you who have been with us know that in my bunny hutch, I have a very grumpy girl. This is my little broody cuckoo Marin, and she is particularly grumpy because when my husband came out yesterday morning, I know, Mama. She had surprises under here. Where are your surprises? Where are they? 1, 2, 3, and 4. I know. So we have 4 babies already hatched. Oh, don't step on your babies. Don't step on your babies. Not sure. Try to listen and see if I hear anything pipping from any of these other ones. But oh goodness, apparently my husband missed one. It fell out of the box and it has passed away. It got chilled, unfortunately. Well, that happens. So we have four babies in good shape and one that passed away. I think this is the one that my husband saw yesterday, and I'm guessing she somehow accidentally got pushed out of the nest. But there's the other babies with their mama. And I'm going to change the nesting box. She was kind of moving the hay around and the straw, the bedding around when she was nesting, and the eggs were winding up on the wire because there is a wire hardware cloth underneath here. So I'm going to change the nesting so they're not in the deep pan. And that way they can more easily get out and not get stuck somewhere like that baby did. So we're going to have to get that changed here pretty quickly so Mama can take care of them. This is a 2-story bunny hutch, so what I did was I put a board in here just so that way the babies can't fall down into the bottom, and then they'll have their food and water here for them. So we'll see if we can get this changed up for Mama so we don't lose any more babies. That's part of being on a homestead, is sometimes things happen, and unfortunately the baby got stuck in a little spot that I didn't notice and wasn't able to get out, and Mama couldn't keep it warm, so it probably got cold and passed away. And it's hard to lose one, even though it's just a little baby chick, and I know they're easily replaceable. I still hate losing them, but one of those things that you just got to deal with. You're a good mama. Okay, so I went ahead and stuffed a whole bunch of, I found the baby that passed away back here in the corner. There's a tray. Since this is a bunny hutch, there's a tray that you can pull out to clean, and in between the guide for where the drawer, the little tray goes, there was just enough of a gap that I guess she wiggled out of that plastic bin and somehow got herself down in that area underneath the straw. So I've stuffed it full of hay. I mean, I've just crammed it in there so there's no more gap. And I went ahead and bedded everything really nice and put a small board underneath so that way the wire is not up underneath of them. I put the eggs and the little babies back under Mama. Oh, I think they're so protective. And she's such a good mama, tucking her babies in. So these are less than 24 hours old and they're already dry. I'm going to sprinkle some food over in the other area and make sure Mama's got fresh water. That way if she decides that the other eggs aren't going to hatch, she can take her babies out. They're good for 24 to 36 hours, no problem, with no food or water. They've still got some yolk in them that they can eat off of, and that way that we know that they're good and safe and healthy. And this Mama has been a broodie for me before, so she does a really, really good job. And my husband saw the one little baby, which I'm suspecting is the one, unfortunately, that passed away yesterday. And he called me all excited that babies were hatching. And when he tried to lift her up gently so he could see if there was any more babies, she pecked the heck out of him. She's not really used to him, so I think that's probably more the reason. She usually just squawks at me and fusses at me, but she doesn't actually peck at me. Let me see if I can tuck this little one. Here, look. Oh, you're so sweet. So sweet. So my Muscovies are getting huge. Oh my goodness, they're getting so big, and they're getting their feathers. And oh, hi guys. Look how big they are compared to what they were. My goodness. And like I said, this is my first time with Muscovies. And oh my goodness, he's getting so heavy. Or she, they're not really sure if they're boys or girls, but see, we're starting to get some actual feathers here, and they're looking really good. They don't need a heat lamp anymore. I found out that ducks don't tend to need a heat lamp quite as long as baby chicks do. But these guys are pretty happy, and it looks like I need to get them some more water because they've already finished it this morning. I think we're going to have to upgrade to a bigger waterer. But I'm really excited to see that they're all getting so big. I feel like just in the short time that I was gone, they just grew, like doubled in size. I mean, it's just crazy how big they've gotten. Hi, Holly. I'm gonna check on my girls who have muddy feet. Dirty. Why do you look like you have mud hanging from your nose? Huh? And yeah, you need brushed. So in the spring, anybody wants to know when spring's coming, just ask your horse, because they know when spring is coming. So they haven't been brushed since Thursday before I left, and obviously they need it again. And we got quite a bit of rain while I was gone, and the paddock, which had dried up very nicely, is now back into a mud hole. And I don't know where my old girl is. Where's my old lady? There's my old lady, and she desperately needs brushed. So I guess that's what me and the kids will be doing when they get home from school, is getting her brushed now that it's getting really nice out. Oh my goodness. We're talking about, just make sure Holly's not going to try to go anywhere. Talking about how things have changed over just a few days. I left Friday afternoon, got back late last night, which is Sunday, and I know that we got a bunch of rain last night. We were getting a little worried our hay was growing awfully slow, but here, I'll see if this can show you a little better. It's probably close to a foot high now. That's really good because it was not that high when I left. It was maybe half that. My husband was worried, since he wasn't able to get the fertilizing on it done, that had really detrimented the hay. And this pasture back here, all this right here, is what we bale. And so far it has supplied our needs. For the most part, we sometimes buy some hay off my parents. Hi, sweetheart. But this year, our gentleman that does our hay, he cuts it and teds it, rakes it, and bales it and everything for us. He retired. So we are on the hunt for a new hay guy. And gosh, I feel like I can't even talk this morning. I'm so tired. Okay, so we're looking for a new hay guy, and we've got a couple numbers we've been calling. We haven't had anybody call us back yet. So hoping that we find someone to get that done for us, and then we'll get it pulled out of the field and stacked up in the barn. Otherwise, we're in big trouble, and you know, the girls may be going on the pasture without it being done, and we will have to buy our hay, which costs a lot more than if we have someone just come in and do it for us. So since so many other things seem to have happened so quickly, I thought that I would come down and take a look in the garden. And obviously, my chickens have been in here scratching things up because my onions are pushed out ever so slightly, but we have some that are starting to grow and turn green. So that's progress, good things. Before I left, I closed the girls off the main part of the garden. And I guess my husband did not realize that I did that. And he let them back on it. So, communication can be very important. And the other thing that we planted was potatoes. And I'm not going to walk all the way through here because this is really, really wet from all the rain. But you can see I've got one that's working its way out of the ground there a little bit. There's actually one up that way that looks like it got completely unburied. Thanks a lot, birds, but there's some people that just throw them on the ground and they go, right? So, I don't worry about that too much. Now over here I planted some Swiss chard and some kale and some spinach. And it's a little early for it to be thinking about coming up, so it's not up yet. But we have got to fix this side down here because it is still so wet. We're probably going to have to put a drainage pipe in or do mounded beds, maybe like try hugelkultur on this end. So we'll have to see what we can do about that. And then we're really, really hoping that I can get in on this here in a couple of days. It'll dry out enough that we can get it tilled under, and the girls will be locked completely off of it, and then we can get started on our regular planting, and we'll share that with you guys. We've got all kinds of seedlings started in the house that we will be planting: tomatoes, peppers, asparagus, cabbage. What else do I have in there? Cabbage, spaghetti squash, cucumbers, cantaloupe. So got quite a few things in there, and then we've also got green beans and a few our green dent corn. That's our new one. We got to get that started too. So there will be lots and lots and lots to show you. So thanks again for subscribing. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Edit. Well, that's it for today, guys. So I'm going to go head on inside, get a shower, and get on with the rest of my day. Thanks for joining us today. If you like what we're doing here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we will see you again tomorrow.